do?
Let me ask you this.
I studied politics in Germany. I studied the system. What you're saying is a bland out lie.
No, it's 100% accurate. People are arrested in Germany, jailed for speech.
No!
Yes.
They're arrested if they use hateful speech. Because of course they are. Okay, off. So you want Nazis?
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great, wherever you're tuning in from. In today's video, we're diving into a debate between Steven Crowder and a young lady on the topic of free speech. Let's break it down and see what both sides have to say.
You think it's racist to believe that people should enter the country legally?
I think it's racist to believe that people that come from Mexico ultimately bring in, like, rape, bring in violence, bring in, I don't even know. Okay, oh, I have another beautiful example.
Okay.
What about calling Africa shithole countries?
Well, you didn't say Africa are shithole countries. You talked about multiple countries being shithole countries.
Yes.
Yeah.
How is that not racist? How calling...
It depends on whether it's a shithole country or not.
Okay, if I call, like...
That's not saying that you believe you're superior to someone because of race.
Of course it is. I'm saying you are we are great.
I'm not going to lie. I think
secure.
Germany's kind of a shitty country. Doesn't mean I think Germans are lesser than Americans. I just don't like your policies.
Well, that is racist because you would say that, like, Germans are shitty.
No, I think Germany's a crappy country. For a multitude of reasons.
Why is Germany a crappy country?
Well, you don't have freedom of speech is one of them.
We have freedom of speech.
No, you don't. You don't have freedom of speech. You do not have freedom of speech. You jail people for unpopular speech. You jail people for offensive speech.
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
I don't.
No.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with you.
None of this is accurate.
It is 100% accurate.
You're lying. Like, I live...
You do not have freedom of speech enshrined in the German Constitution. It doesn't exist.
We
It's not a
have
thing.
freedom of speech.
Let me continue on down the list.
I worked in media. I worked in news media. We have freedom of speech. We could write whatever we wanted to.
No, you don't.
No, we do.
Let me ask you this.
I studied politics in Germany. I studied the system. What you're saying is a bland out lie.
No, it's 100% accurate. People are arrested in Germany, jailed for speech.
No.
Yes.
They're arrested if they use hateful speech. Because of course they are. Okay, off. So you want Nazis?
You guys started it. Come on, that's okay. Let's not get heated. Anytime it gets heated, we have to calm it down. If you want to calm down.
No, I'm sorry, but this is f***ed up. We have Nazis.
So people are arrested for hate speech, though.
People are arrested for hate speech.
You don't have freedom of speech. So I think Germany's shitty. Thank you.
No, I don't shake with you. You're a liar. You're a f***ing liar. I'm sorry, but where's the line? I'm sorry, where's the f***ing line?
All speech is permissible. No line. All speech is permissible.
All speech is permissible.
Yeah, no matter how offensive, it's permissible.
Okay.
You can't jail anyone for speech.
Okay. So, I mean, you would be the one in the 1930s who would definitely vote for Hitler. Like, yeah, I'd say, oh.
No. We voted for the guy who beat your leader's ass.
No, you didn't. You weren't alive then.
I wasn't alive. You said if I were alive.
Okay, seriously though. But if we can't...
I mean, I would vote, put it this way, if I were in Germany at that time, I would vote against the National Socialists who implemented gun control and speech restrictions. I would vote against them.
Okay, if I can say, like, Jews are bastards and they should all die, and I don't have to end up in...
It's terrible to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And I don't, like... and
you shouldn't be jailed.
She's absolutely wrong when she says people aren't getting arrested for what they say in Germany. In fact, under Germany's NetzDG law, Network Enforcement Act, social media platforms are required to remove hate speech within 24 hours or face hefty fines. In 2019, a German citizen was fined 1,350 euros for posting a satirical comment online. It's not just Germany, many European countries are cracking down on online speech. For instance, in the UK, people have been arrested for offensive tweets under the Malicious Communications Act. Here's a clip from an interview with Konstantin Kysin that highlights these free speech issues in Europe.
In Russia last year, 400 people were arrested for things that they said on social media. 400 people in Russia. Obviously, this country is very different. How many people do you think were arrested in Britain for things they said on social media last year?
Go on.
Take a guess.
I have no idea.
3,300.
Really? Arrested for what they'd said on social media?
Yeah.
Really? What sort of things get you
Well,
arrested?
one example I give in my show is there was a young woman from Liverpool called Chelsea Russell, and people can look this up. Her friend was killed in a car crash, a 19-year-old woman, and she posted the lyrics of his favorite song on her Instagram, the lyrics. And there was a rap song, so the lyrics contained several instances of the N-word. Okay? She was arrested, prosecuted, found guilty, given 500 hours of community service and a fine, tagged, and for a year she was under 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. curfew.
My goodness.
In Britain.
In Britain.
In 2018.
So we talk about the Chinese system of social credits.
Right.
And describe it as the creation of, or the emerging of a digital prison. But we're doing it to ourselves voluntarily in the West, so to speak.
Absolutely. I mean,
so we'll cancel people socially if they say the wrong thing on social media.
Imagine with all the crime that's going on in Europe, or pick a country, America, and then you get arrested for something you've said on Facebook. It's absolutely wild. Let's get back to the debate.
You don't always end up in jail. Sometimes you just get a penalty. Oh my God.
I don't think you should be penalized for saying something offensive. That's what I'm saying.
Why
you don't
not?
have freedom, because I don't want that power to be delegated to the government, because we never know who the next guy is going to be. The government should not be in charge of who is allowed to speak or what they're allowed to say.
Okay.
And if you think that makes me a racist, that's fine. I would never say those things.
No, I understand. That's liberal. That's like, you have a liberal view on that. I understand that. That's like, I understand
and
that.
I think that countries that don't support, the United States is the only country that has that.
Yeah.
I think it's shittier. So it's not because I hate Germans, but I think that policy is a policy. You may disagree with me, but you understand my reasoning, right?
I do disagree with you, yeah.
Okay, but it's not because I'm racist, you understand, right? Like, I would be right there saying, hey, that's a shitty thing to say if someone said that about Jews.
Yes.
Okay, especially as a supporter of Israel. I hate it when people go out and just go on anti-Semitic tirades.
Yes.
But they have the right to do it.
They have the right to do it.
Yes, in this country, not in Germany.
So there is no line for you?
Not when it comes to speech.
Not when it comes to speech. Okay, so where is the line?
There is no line with speech.
So the line is in action?
Yes.
Okay, I understand that. That's a liberal view. That's fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We've calmed down now. We're good.
We've
I think you were misunderstanding me because you think I was supporting racist speech. I'm not. I just support people's right to say it.
You're just twisting around words.
No, I'm trying to be as clear as possible. There is no line.
No, I understand. You're liberal. Like, I understand that. You're like liberal in that sense that you say everybody should be able to say whatever, whenever.
Right. Just like Donald Trump. Just like Republicans. That's what Republicans, conservatives tend to believe. Freedom of speech is absolute. We're very liberal.
Okay, but then we will not... you and me will not find common grounds because I believe in the idea that discourse and that what we are saying is shaping our society.
I agree with you too. That's why I hope that you see this as productive. That's why we didn't just sit and yell with him. But what happened? Oh, car. I hope that you would see this discourse as productive. This is what I try and do.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that even though I think that guy's a jerk and he was yelling and berating people and screaming, I don't believe that I have the right to shut him down or the government does. That's all I'm saying. But this is the discourse that I support and believe in, even if we disagree.
Yeah, my problem is that basically if the discourse is filled with hate speech, if the discourse is filled with then it normalizes, then it takes the step to action is a lot lower. Do you know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying, but I think a far graver risk is that step in giving the authority to the government in determining what speech is permissible. So I agree with you. If you say it's a slippery slope, right, because we allow people to speak freely, and they might say something that could inspire someone to do something terrible. And I agree, that could happen.
Yes.
But I would say more of a concern, particularly as you'd mentioned historically, Germany, Russia, Cuba, these places, more of a concern is once the government gets that power in determining what is offensive, what is hate speech, they expand that power, and that's a far greater risk than individuals saying terrible things. That's an opinion.
Yeah, that's an opinion. So you have a very, I understand, you have a very liberal, freedom-oriented view of government. Well, I come from a very social democratic system where, we value certain ideals and certain, also security over freedom.
Right.
Yes.
I understand that. I just disagree with it. I just disagree with it.
Yeah, that I understand.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. Well, I think I don't want to take up the whole time, but I appreciate you sitting down. I hope we've left it better than when we got upset. I hope you understand. Okay.
In the words of Jordan Peterson, when you're searching for the truth, you're going to have to risk offending somebody. The last people you want controlling speech is the government. Those who control speech, control culture. We're witnessing this in real time as language is being manipulated by leftist ideologues. Most of us in Western democracies consider free speech a basic human right, something our ancestors fought and died for. But as we approach 2024, it seems that each year, this right is more at risk. And the threat isn't coming from external enemies. It's coming from within. We now have a generation that doesn't believe in free speech. They believe in freedom from speech. This means they want to ban any speech they find disagreeable or offensive. This mindset is a direct threat to democracy. When you silence opposition, you're essentially dismantling the democratic process itself. We're already seeing the consequences of this in Europe, where sensitivity-based censorship is increasingly common. For instance, in the UK, people have been arrested under the Malicious Communications Act for offensive social media posts. In Germany, the S.D.N.Y law, Network Enforcement Act, mandates that social media platforms remove content deemed hateful within 24 hours, or they face severe fines. One study by Article 19, a global human rights organization, showed that European citizens are more likely than Americans to support government censorship, with nearly 40% of Europeans surveyed agreeing that certain speech should be banned if it could offend others. And let's not forget the double standard when it comes to criticizing religion. In much of Europe, criticism of Islam is often classified as hate speech, while criticism of Christianity is far more tolerated. This inconsistent enforcement of free speech laws weakens the very principles they are meant to protect. Even in the U.S., where the First Amendment supposedly guarantees our free speech rights, we're far from immune. Cancel culture has become pervasive. A study by the Cato Institute found that 62% of Americans self-censor their opinions due to fear of offending others or being punished socially or professionally. More than half of the respondents said they felt pressure to say only what is politically correct, especially in academic and professional settings. And speaking of academic settings, universities, which should be bastions of free thought, have instead become breeding grounds for speech suppression. A report by the Foundation for Individual Rights in Education, FIRE, revealed that 54% of public universities and 59% of private universities enforce politically correct speech codes, restricting students' ability to express themselves. Even more alarming, in a 2022 FIRE survey, 66% of students said it was acceptable to shout down speakers they disagreed with, and 23% said it was acceptable to use violence to prevent them from speaking. This is no longer a hypothetical issue. At a public university in California on Constitution Day, a decorated military veteran was handing out copies of the Constitution to fellow students. He was told by campus administrators that he couldn't do this without permission, violating the very document he was distributing. This incident highlights just how far things have gone. Universities are also banning speakers they don't agree with. We've seen this happen to conservatives like Michael Knowles and Matt Walsh. But it's not just right-wing figures. Condoleezza Rice and Christine Lagarde have also faced protests and disinvitations from speaking on campuses. The Brookings Institution conducted a study showing that in the last 5 years, over 50% of college students believe it's acceptable to block a speaker they disagree with from campus. And it doesn't stop there. Universities have introduced trigger warnings, designed to alert students that the material they're about to read or hear might cause emotional discomfort. Even classics like The Great Gatsby now come with trigger warnings due to alleged misogynistic or violent content. Microaggressions, or small, often unintentional slights, are also heavily policed on campuses. What exactly constitutes a microaggression is vague, which makes this a highly subjective way to regulate speech. But here's the truth, we don't need freedom from speech, we need to protect freedom of speech, because without it, we lose the very foundation of a free society. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing to help the channel grow. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.